Ah, it's just me, Jim Messina again. Welcome to another vintage video for drums. Hey, look what I've got this time. Painted factory drum heads from the 1920s. Right behind me. These are all from my collection. Say, if you've never seen these before, they've really got a vibe about them. Drummers back in those days used to use either a shield with their initials. You see that today too, but that was used a little bit later. This is from the 1920s, earlier. The drum companies would actually make factory hand-painted scenes for the calfskin drum heads. Yeah, that's right. These are all 28-inch calfskin heads. Now, some of these are more recognizable than others. Collectors know some of them, but say like the one down here of the ship. That's on a Ludwig & Ludwig drum, but I haven't seen that painting in any catalog, in any reference at all. I've never seen one live, so I'm not sure where that came from, but that's how it was in those days. You had the factories, the drum companies making factory hand-painted drum heads, and then you also had the drummers themselves putting their band name on there, their orchestra name, or their own initials, whatever. And some of them were some pretty crude attempts at waterfall scenes or mountain lake scenes. They would try to kind of copy the factory heads, but these are original here, and we can document that thanks to Rob Cook and some of the documentation he's done in his books. So let's go look at some of those right now. So you'll see this one, that's a Leedy head. The one in the back is also the windmill scene from Leedy. And I believe this is a Ludwig, early Ludwig. So let's go take a look at those right now. Well, thanks to Rob Cook for compiling those pictures for us. I appreciate that. You know, these drum heads came about for a reason, not just because they were cool to look at. The lights inside are really what started it all. They would look very good in an orchestra at a very elegant affair, but the real reason they were doing it is because these, again, are animal skin heads. They're made of calf skin. And what happens to calf skin in humid weather is it begins to loosen and it sags and the drums go out of tune, and it was a real nightmare in those days. So the lights were put inside to give just enough of a drying effect to tighten those heads back up. But they also had special heaters that would be connected to the drums inside. It was a heating element, and that also did the same job. But the light bulb inside, you know, that would suffice, and it also looked pretty. It looked elegant on stage. Hence, they started doing these silhouette type paintings. The drum company started putting those out, and they would actually make the paintings especially to be enhanced by the light bulbs that were put inside these drums. Now mine, I had to rewire because the wiring is very dangerous. You know, that old wiring is corroded. So if you run across one of these, you want to update that wiring and make it safe. So I think these just have a special vibe about them, you know. There are drum heads today that are really great looking. Most of the big bands today have, you know, super graphics going on, but that's all high-tech stuff going on. And once again, they're not done on calfskin, they're done on mylar, contemporary heads. So these have a special place in drum history. Hand-painted factory drum heads from Leedy, Ludwig and Ludwig, Slingerland, even Gretsch had their own too. So thanks for looking at these heads with me. I think they're a blast. Go find some for yourself. Jim Messina, we'll see you again.